Hello, I'm back. Juliana Sproles checking in on the 29th of December 2021, and I have for you today an update on some of the projects I created yesterday. So first I want to talk about this candle here. It's a votive with a very small wick, but it's grown so the candle flame's a little larger than I'd like. So I'm going to just trim it, and then we'll move on to showing the other projects and how they turned out. All right, so the importance of trimming your wicks is that your candle will last longer and burn cleaner. Many people who love candles already know this, but we'll continue practicing. I'm just taking off that little carbon tip. It's not clogged yet, but the candle is just a little too large. Candle flame is just a little too large. Even still, so you really just need 1/8 or 1/4 of an inch of wick exposed. Now, a smaller wick, this is a votive size candle in a glass dish, so it's going to spill out and fill the dish, and it will continue burning nicely. So let's take a look and see by trimming it what the flame size is now. All right, so it's small and it's not casting that glow that I had earlier just yet. If it stays this small, it's going to tunnel down, but it's giving a centered, beautiful glow. I'm gonna watch this grow. I can always take something and move the candle wick over to recenter it, or to move it to the side where the wax needs to burn a little more on the left side of this candle. These candles love our attention. They do not like to be left alone. All right, so now it's growing. We'll check back on this in a little bit. Okay. Maybe I can keep it there. It's just pretty. Earlier I had the bigger candle flame, and so the rays in the other video I just made this go out all the way around here. So pretty. All depends on what we want. Stronger focus in the middle or more radiating candle. Nice, subtle, sweet aroma, helping us to clean the air and set the space. All right, so the first candle I ever made was the classic dinner candle for the local restaurant, Sourwood Cafe, Sourwood and Honey Dip, here in Marble Hill, Georgia. So yesterday I made this candle. The wick pulled out, but I added a new wick to the center, and it's now ready to be lit. This is the classic Sourwood dinner candle. Since it doesn't have any additional aromatherapy in it, it goes very well with dinner because it's a very subtle, sweet honey scent. All right, so I'm not gonna light this, but this was a repaired candle from yesterday, doing just fine. My trio of candles I poured yesterday. This is the Always With You travel candle, very small. I can refill this glass instead of a tea light that I toss and throw out with the plastic or the aluminum. I use glass. It's larger than a tea light. It burns, this one will burn 8 to 10 hours. This one, the wick was not centered yesterday, so while the center was still warm, I pulled the wick to the middle and it's looking pretty good. It's only a minor flaw. These three go very nicely together. This is the third one, the classic Sourwood dinner candle. It burns between 12 and 14 hours. Ta-da! All right, so those are all fine, ready to go. Maybe they will be put in a custom candle crate that I make. I'll show that in another video. All right, so now we're getting fancy. These I poured yesterday. They are all set. These are container candles. And they are just glass I got on sale at Hobby Lobby. And they have gold on the top, wider base, beautiful for the dinner table, for your holiday party, or to use in meditation, memorials, remembrances, tributes, prayer, meditation, centering, and so forth. Pure beeswax candles. Help clear the air. So these turned out nicely. I poured them yesterday. They are ready to go. All right, now moving on to what many people ask me about, pillar candles. I poured these pillar candles. I had two, a short one and a tall one, so I wanted a third one, and I poured it yesterday. So let's see if we can take it out now. All right. So I'm going to detach the wick from the top. I always keep my tiny little extra pieces of beeswax in a little container because I toss them back into my vat of melted wax. And there's a little bit of wax on top of this popsicle stick, so I'm going to be careful as I take it off. All right, so I can clean this, take all this wax off, and every now and then I'll just drop my popsicle sticks in hot water and clean them off. And if the water gets a lot of wax in it, I'll just toss it out onto the leaves out the back door and let it go back to the earth. I don't like to waste anything, and so I will reuse my popsicle sticks, even though you can get 150 of them for very little cost. But there's a lot of life left in this, so why not keep using it? So I'll keep something handy nearby to put my popsicle sticks in. That's an old spice jar. All right. TMI, right? Too much information. But I am that I am. All right, I'm going to bend this wick down, and I'm going to turn this candle over. I'm going to tap it on the edge of the countertop, and it came out first try. I did use candle release spray that I showed in the video yesterday, so that helped it. But the beeswax, as it dries, the extra moisture goes out of it and it shrinks just a bit. This one's pretty spherical and looking very good in nature. So the size and the shape of it. It is not defect free, but hand poured beeswax candles that are 100% pure beeswax, they will sometimes have imperfections, which I think make them very unique and beautiful. And people seem to appreciate that. So I had this extra long wick because, as I mentioned yesterday, I will reuse, I'll use the rest of this. This is already beautiful primed wick. It's a number 2 premium craft square braid cotton wick that I primed and dipped in beeswax. So it's ready to go for another candle, or even 2, depending on what size I choose to use it for. Oh, this is getting very beautiful smelling. Okay, so now I have a trio of pillar candles that I can use as a set. I guess if I were being picky, I would say, well, this one could have been a little bit taller, this one could have been a little bit shorter, but I like these together. They're nice. So I have a stand of 3 that would be hard to use these candles on the stand because the metal, there's a little metal spire that sticks up, and it would be hard to put this on there. So there's a way to create a candle that is meant for those types of candle holders. These I probably would put in Well, I could put him on a stone or a rock or in a big candle vessel.